Hi everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. It's a bright sunny day here where I live, and sorry, I tried to get the light. It's definitely lots of light behind me, so apologies for that, but we're going to switch over to my desktop shortly. So I'm here today to show you what's a fairly quick and easy card. I made these as thank you cards for my customers for any orders placed in February, and it features the Enjoy the Moment stamp set, which I just love the line drawings on this stamp set, and it just makes it so easy to create a beautiful card. So let me just switch over to my desktop and I'll show you how I made the card. Okay, so this is the card that I've made, and you can see it's really just ink, paper, stamps. I really tried to keep it fairly simple. I couldn't help with some embellishments and a little bit of detail, but really the star of the show is this amazing stamp. And so this, as I said, is from the Enjoy the Moment stamp set, which is in the January to June Stampin' Up! Mini catalog. And I just love these line drawings. They're perfect for coloring, which I've done a little bit of, but they're also just perfect because there's so much detail to them that you don't actually have to do much to this at all. So I've got all of the measurements for this card, as well as the written instructions, are on my blog, and the link to my blog is underneath the video. So you can go out there and get the instructions in case you don't want to write them down, or miss any. So I've got a piece of early espresso cardstock that is cut 4 1/4 by 11 inches, and I'm just going to fold that in half and use my bone folder to create my card base. Okay, there we go. Give it a good burnish with my bone folder. Now I've got a piece of Very Vanilla, and I'm using the Tasteful Textile embossing folder, which is one of my absolute favorites. It's just, I've already gone ahead and embossed this piece. This piece is cut 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I don't know, there you can kind of see, there you go. I just love this. It's just subtle enough, but provides enough kind of interest on the back as a background for this. So I'm just going to take my Stampin' Seal and adhere this piece down. Now I've got a piece of soft suede and a piece of Very Vanilla. The soft suede is cut 2 3/4 by 4 1/2, and then the Very Vanilla is 2 1/2 by 4 1/4. And we're going to stamp the image. I'm using early espresso ink. And I stamp out, and we're using this large line drawing, and I stamped this one with thank you, but I think what I'm going to use is this one that says a little note from this one, because my card I made was thank you cards. I had them all, and I used this thank you is from the I believe it's the sweet strawberry stamp set, but for this one I'm going to use a little note. So we're going to stamp my image. There we go. Actually, I'm just going to restamp. Always 2 sides to a card. So if you did what I did right there, where I just didn't get enough pressure on the full stamp, I'm just going to turn it over. And there we go. That's a much better image. And while I'm at it, I've got a piece of, this is a 1/2 inch, and it's too long, but I cut it extra long just in case. So 1/2 inch, and I'm just going to stamp a little note in the middle of it. There we go. And I'm going to cut this off shortly, but just get all the stamping done while I have my ink pad open. Okay, so I pulled out my crumb cake Stampin' Blends, and I'm just going to go over, I can't remember actually what color, but there we go. I think maybe just the the light of the crumb cake, and all I did was really just go over and color. I'm not really worrying about blending. There's enough detail on these images that you don't, but I just decided it needed a little bit of color in the image. So I'm really just using my Stampin' blends to color. And the last thing I'm going to do, but I'm not going to do it until I've actually got it on the card, is I'm going to go over this image using my Wink of Stella just to give it some shimmer. So this piece will go on here. So this is soft suede. You could use early espresso if you wanted everything matching, but I just decided I was going to use a little bit of a different color. Now, that's my stamping done. Now I've got this piece. This is from the In Good Taste, and I've cut this. This is cut, let's see, 1 inch by 3 3/4, and I'm gonna use the Banners Take Your Pick punch, I think that's what it's called, and punch the flag ends. Now I like to put my piece in, turn it over, and make sure, because I've got it lined up so that I can see that I'm going to get my little flag even. Sometimes it shifts a little bit on me, so I put, oops, I want to trim this to be, I'll just take this and trim it a little bit, so maybe a little bit more. So you can leave this as long as you want, and it really will depend on the size of your stamp that you use, the sentiment. But mine is, this is cut 1/2 inch by 3 1/4 now that I've trimmed it. So now I'm going to take it and I'm going to put the right hand end in to my punch, hold it in place, and this is where, because it's small, just get it in the middle. And now you've got a nice tag end. Close up my punch. Oops, there we go. Okay, so now I'll bring my card base in. So I'm going to adhere this piece down with Stampin' Seal. That's funny how when you start, when I started this card, I had something completely different in my mind. And I realized I don't have Stampin' Seal or dimensionals with me, but I'm just going to, you could pop this up if you wanted to using dimensionals, but I'm just going to adhere it down. Yeah, so this card really, I had not thought about embossing the back, but I did it just on a plain background and realized it just needed something more. I hadn't thought about putting, you know, this piece of In Good Taste behind it, but again, when I got it done, it needed something else. And then the sentiment was not going to be on this little tag. So like I said, it's funny how you start out with an idea in your mind, and then it changes and shifts as you go. So then I just putting this kind of in the middle. Again, you could pop that up if you want. And the last thing, actually the second last thing, because now I'm going to take my Wink of Stella, and I'm just going to color over. Now it's going to be hard to see on camera, but I'm just going to color over this image. I just like the shimmer that it provides. And I'm pretty sure you won't be able to see that. There we go. No. But it's got just a nice little shimmer to it. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I've got some of the gilded gems. I love these. I have more on order. I've used so many of them. But we're just going to add 3 of the gilded gems randomly on my card. There. All right. So that's my card. This was the original thank you card, and this one now says a little note. And I hope that my customers will like getting these cards as a thank you for the orders they placed in February. So let me just switch back. There we go. Hope you enjoyed that. As I said, all of the written instructions and the measurements are on my blog, so you can use the link below the video to go out to my blog and check it out. While you're here on my YouTube channel, I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel so that you get notified when I post more videos, which I do on a regular basis. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for joining me. Bye, everybody.